Welcome to your Orbit News Stories with your news stories for the week.
The top U.S. military officer has called the 20-year war in Afghanistan a strategic failure. General Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, also acknowledged to Congress that he had favored keeping several thousand troops in the country to prevent a collapse of the U.S.-supported Kabul government and a rapid takeover by the Taliban. Republicans on the Senate Armed Services Committee pointed to Milley's testimony on Tuesday as evidence that President Joe Biden had been untruthful last month when he had suggested the military had not urged him to keep troops in Afghanistan. Milley refused to say what advice he gave to Biden. A 911 call over the weekend about an Amtrak train that derailed in rural Montana near the Canadian border set off an outpouring of help from area residents, volunteer fire and medical teams, and regional law enforcement. People living in tiny farming communities banded together to get stunned passengers off the train and cared for those with bumps, bruises, and other minor injuries. The seriously injured passengers were taken to a small critical access hospital nearby, and some were transported to larger hospitals. 3 passengers died and dozens were injured when 3 of the train's cars tipped onto their sides last Saturday. The cause is still under investigation. Hall of Fame broadcaster Jaime Jarrin will retire as the Los Angeles Dodgers Spanish-language announcer following the 2022 season, ending a 64-year run with the team. Jarrin says he wants to spend more time with his 2 sons and grandchildren, as well as travel. He turns 86 in December. He began calling Dodgers games in 1959 and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1998, becoming just the 2nd Spanish-language announcer to receive the honor. He has called 3 perfect games and 22 no-hitters during his career. Dak Prescott threw for 3 touchdowns in his first home game since he suffered an ankle injury on the same field almost a year ago. Trayvon Diggs returned an interception, 59 yards for a score, and the Dallas Cowboys dominated the Philadelphia Eagles 41-21. Ezekiel Elliott ran for a season-high 95 yards and 2 touchdowns. The tight end Dalton Schultz has first 2 TD game of his career. Prescott was efficient outside of a fumble in the end zone that gave the Eagles their first touchdown.
That was your Orbit News Shorts. Check back weekly for the latest in news and information.